there is a double standard of when it comes to people with autism. Someone that self-diagnosed themselves as being autistic will tell people like, yes, I have autism, I have a disability, I'm neurodivergent. This is why I struggle sometimes with social cues, with social conversations, with processing things, with knowing what's appropriate or inappropriate in certain settings sometimes. It's a disability that we cannot turn off. Even the older we get, we become more aware, we become more emotionally intelligent. The disability still trickles through our everyday moments and everyday interactions. And then it's like if they see you being high functioning, being able to articulate yourself very well, be able to handle things very well, they'll go ahead and dismiss you when you say you have autism. Like, I don't think it's autism. I don't think that you are autistic. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. Maybe you have ADHD. Maybe you're somewhere near autism, but I don't think you're fully autistic. And what they're saying is, they're not even realizing what they're saying. They're trying to dismiss you and trying to also validate you at the same time, but you can also hit them with this. Well, autism is a spectrum, and if you see that I'm around the range of autism, then that means you see me on the spectrum, but you see that I'm higher on the spectrum. And a lot of people that are higher on the autism spectrum, people that are high functioning autistics, a lot of times they can dismiss us as not having autism because they cannot see it directly. They can't see it clearly. So because they can't see something so clearly, it's not directly in their face, they dismiss it, they deny it. But then when our autism comes out sometimes, because our autism is going to come out, whether it's in a social interaction, whether it's just in another moment, it's going to come out, and then they look puzzled. They wonder, why did you behave that way? Why did you act that way? Why did you strike up that conversation? Why did you say that? Why did this happen? Then they see the autism come out, and then they question, they wonder what's going on, and they look at you a certain way. But if they were to see you as autistic, they would say, okay, that's where their autism came out. Now I can see it. Now I see what you're saying. But instead, they dismiss you because they can't see your autism clearly. And it's like it's a double standard. It's like they dismiss you when they think that you are like too smart or too aware or too articulate to be autistic. But then when you do something very autistic-like, then they see it, but they don't label it as autism. They're like, yeah, that's a problem, and I can see that problem, but they don't want to label it as autism. And a lot of times people think that you need some like actually official diagnosis to declare that you have autism, but we live in a generation and age where all of the information is at your fingertips. If you want to look into what autism is, you can do your own research. And if it correlates and resonates with your life, then you have it. And a lot of times it's difficult to get an official diagnosis. There are millions of people on this planet with autism, and all the people are trying to get disability, and you're waiting for months on end to even hear anything back if you got on disability. Or even so, trying to even find a psychologist to diagnose you is difficult itself. And sometimes you have these doctors, these psychologists that are not even up to date on how they check for autism. And sometimes you can get tested for autism and the test can come back saying that you don't have it, but if you know that you have it, then you still do. Just because one doctor said you don't have it doesn't make that true, doesn't mean that it holds merit and weight. It's like being sick and knowing that you have something going on with you, and you go to a healthcare doctor and they tell you, I don't see anything wrong, and then you think, let me go ahead and get a second opinion because I know that there is something wrong. Just because you, this specific individual medical professional, didn't see it doesn't mean that there isn't anything wrong. I know my body, I know there's something wrong, I know there's an issue with me, I'm going to find a second opinion. In the same exact way with people with autism, we know we have a disability, we know there's an issue here, we know ourselves. So when we have a professional that denies it and tells us we don't have it, get a second opinion. And many times, because people don't really know what autism is, they'll be quick to deny it, quick to deflect, quick to dismiss it. But we are living in a great age right now where people are self-diagnosing their autism, and they're giving themselves the accommodations that they need and probably wouldn't get if they didn't know that they had autism. Every autistic person needs to know they have autism so that you can fully understand, and overstand yourself and your life, and being able to give yourself the accommodations that you need. It'll make your life a whole lot smoother by accommodating your disability. You can be smart, you can be very intelligent, you can be a fucking genius and still have a disability.